This is Pro Series Off Topic.
Welcome back to Pro Series Off Topic, episode 121. I hope you enjoyed episode 201 of Pro Series this past week. It came out on Friday with Matt Hillebrand. He is the vice president of builder sales and IT over at Dawn's Appliances. If you're not in the Pittsburgh area or the West Virginia area, you might not know what they are, but they're an appliance store here in my area. I've known them my whole entire career. And we kind of talk about the background story of the company, how they came about, why it's so important to them to focus on the design community and their customers as a relationship and not just like as a transactional type of opportunity. So we go into that and focusing on the associations as well. So if you're in the industry, if you're not, it's kind of cool hearing the background story of how a company became what they are. So if you're into that, it's episode 201 with Matt Hillebrand. This coming up week, I will announce halfway through the week who that guest is. I have a feeling a lot of people will be excited to hear about what I asked this guest. It is I don't want to give too much away because I want to make like a teaser trailer out of it. And all I'm going to say is if you like streaming services, you're going to like it. It's something totally different than I've ever really done. It has really nothing to do with like what I do in my personal life and or my work life. So let's see what you guys think. I'm excited to release it. It's going to be coming out on Friday, but I'll have like a little teaser and announce who it is on Wednesday probably or Thursday. I haven't decided yet. As you can tell, I'm very prepared. I'm always prepared on off topic. I want to get into the first topic of the week. I've talked about this many times on this podcast, but I go on Realtor.com and Zillow and look at houses all over the country for some random reason. It's just something that I've always done my whole life, and it's not because I'm trying to move or look at relocating because that's not the thing. It's just I love seeing other architecture and how other people design houses and seeing how even new builds are from Pittsburgh to, Scottsdale, Arizona. It's just interesting to me. I just love doing that. And I've seen a lot lately of old houses and the real estate agents put in the description like it's a bragging right of what the year of it is. So, like the year it was built. And for example, it said this house was built in 1904. And when they say that, it's always followed up by they don't make them like they used to. I agree with you, but sometimes that is a red flag. You know, in my mind, I'm thinking no insulation or lack of insulation, cracked floors, and then asbestos, wiring, plumbing. And if you know anything about those three things, you're in for a treat. Getting rid of all that and getting new up to date wiring, plumbing, and getting rid of the asbestos. That could ruin your budget right there. They might price themselves very well in the market, but think about all that construction you have to do just to get those three up to date. And those are three things that I know when you buy a house and you want to make updates, those are not the things you want to update. It's like getting a new furnace. Yeah, you might be warmer or AC, you might be cooler, but it's not an aesthetic thing that's going to improve the look of the home, and it's harder to spend the money on those type of things. And I just find it so funny, like what is that year timeline? Like where do you draw the line where the year of the house and how it's built isn't a flex anymore? I'm really curious about that because I saw that a few times while I was looking on Zillow the other day and wanted to bring that up. Next thing I want to bring up is, so last week I posted a video about the top 10 highest selling country artists of all time. And you would have thought I made fun of someone's grandmother. It like the comments on TikTok were insane. And it's always TikTok, in my opinion, at least on my social media. And people were complaining about like Morgan Wallen and Luke Combs have only been in it for 10 years or less. They should not be on the list. And I'm like, if math and stats get you that mad, I don't know what to tell you. Like, oh, why are you getting so mad and commenting all of this stuff on a page where I didn't make it up? Go get mad at the people that bought all the records and made them the highest selling country artist. Like, people get mad about the stupidest things in the world. Like I get it if it was my opinion, but it wasn't. It was math. Crazy. But with country music, I'm going to get into the new country music and then the top five on the country radio. But I want to talk about one more topic because I feel like that's what gets you guys on this off topic podcast. Every single comment I get, any of the highest view stuff I get is always about country music. So, might as well bring in some more facts about country music. The longest charting country song of all time is not what you think it is. If you were alive in the past 10 years, you probably will bring this up or you'll remember it and you'll be like, "Oh yeah, that was a massive song." And that is Meant to Be by BB Rexa and Florida Georgia Line. Got a lot of hate in the beginning, I feel like, from the country crowd. Um, I've always loved it. Again, I love all country music, but it spent 50 weeks at the number one spot. That's pretty insane and historic. And it broke so many more records than just the 50 weeks at number one. And it's a song that, in my opinion, doesn't get old because everybody knows it. Everybody that was alive then knows it. It was everywhere from, radio to the social media to TV. It was something that was just really revolutionary because of that was the first time BB Rexa has really entered the country world. And I think anytime any type of pop artist or hip hop artist tries to get into the country world, there's like a certain group or a sector of country world that like absolutely hates it. Like, why are you allowed to come in here? And I think that's so stupid. My favorite thing and some of my favorite artists of all time are artists that don't draw the line when it comes to genres. Can sing anything. They might only release music in a certain genre on their main long like their main albums or EPs, but they dabble in the sound of multiple different genres. And I think that's what makes an artist an artist. And like those are usually the best entertainers. Those are usually best overall just artists in general. And so sad when people say that. But let's get into the top five media based country radio chart right now. Number five, Josh Ross with Single Again. Number four, Tyler Hubbard, Park. Number three, Nate Smith with Fix What You Didn't Break. Number two, Morgan Wallen, Just in Case. And the new number one this week is Sam Hunt's Country House, which this is his first number one in a while. And I hope this was the only song off of that or the EP he released last year that really made traction. So I'm hoping for an LP or another EP I would do. But we need more music from Sam Hunt. Like that 5 or 6 songs he released last year on the Locked Up EP was just not enough for me. Let's get into the new music of the week. First up, Walker Hayes is coming out with a new album. First up on off that album is a song. The album is going to be called 17 Problems, and the first song is called 17-Year-Old Problems. Really love the idea, and I say this a lot about Walker Hayes. I love the idea, but somehow he's always chasing that fancy like sound, which is okay, but sometimes it doesn't do well because this is a very well written song. He's a very good songwriter, or the songs that he picks are very well written. It's just the production of it kind of ruins it for me. I mean, he has in the beginning of his career before Fancy Like, a lot of people would think he only has Fancy Like, but he had a couple number ones before that, and his music before Fancy Like, in my opinion, was like top notch. It just didn't get the recognition that it deserved. And I mean, Don't Break Up with Him or some of the ones about his wife. They're just great songs that I feel like people pass up on, and he's an artist that people pass up on just because they think of just Fancy Like and think that's the only thing that he's known for, or Applebee's. But that's it. Runner up this week for number one song of the week would be Bill and Currington, an artist that I have been a fan of pretty much my whole life. My whole family loves him. And he came out with a new song called King of the World, which is so drastically different from anything he's ever released, but in a good way. Like, not that any of his old stuff is bad, because I love all his old stuff. This is just such a new sound for him. It's very twangy, it's very country, and I just feel like it's a really cool turn of his career, and maybe this is what we're expected on a new album from him. I don't know, but it's called King of the World. Go check that out. This is probably the song that I listened to the most this week, but I'm not gonna put it as the number one song because it has two rappers on it. And I just don't want to hear comments. But it's the Miami remix that I spoke about for the past 2 weeks by Morgan Wallen with Lil Wayne and Rick Ross. I love it. I think it was very well done. I think last week I spoke about how either people are going to love it or absolutely hate it. And I love it. I think it's a great way to mix the two genres together. It's bringing more generations to country music, bringing more generations to listen to Morgan Wallen. It is a great, I don't know how, I would love to hear the story on how he got Lil Wayne and Rick Ross on it, because I think that background story would be pretty cool. But my number one song of the week is by Luke Combs, and that is Back in the Saddle. The music video is great. The song is great. I don't know necessarily it's a new sound for Luke Combs, but it just sounds like him. It's a great song, great timing for it to come out in the middle of summer. I think it's going to do well, obviously, because he is going to be the highest selling country artist of all time soon. Wetzel came out with a song called Surrounded. It's not bad. Tyler Childers, I need to listen to this new album called Snip Hunter. I didn't listen to the whole thing. But another song you need to listen to, Carter Faith came out with a song called Bar Star, which I think is going to be a crowd favorite because it's a great song that people could sing to. And it's just a great, like, 2000s, late 90s written song about, her boyfriend or her friend being a bar star, which we all know somebody that is a bar star that's, you know, always at the local bar. That's all I have this week. Again, midweek, I will announce who is going to be on the Pro Series this week. If you are a fan of streaming services, you're going to be a fan of this guest. That's all we have this week. Stay tuned to Pro Series coming out the end of the week, and we'll talk next week.